Welcome to the Adult Basic Skills Professional Development video series. Throughout our productions, we are committed to excellence in adult education and professional development in basic skills instruction. The goal of this video series is to improve the effectiveness and quality of instruction through focused professional development.
Hello, and thank you for joining me to take a look at numeracy for the adult learner. This video has two parts. First, we're going to follow an adult through what might be a typical day and look at the numerous occasions where math is required. Second, we're going to look at the characteristics of the adult learner. These must be considered in planning effective instruction. Furthermore, we will look at effective instructional strategies for adult basic skills, or the ABS learner. It is important that adult learners are aware of the many occasions they use math throughout their day. So we're going to follow an adult through what might be a typical day and analyze when, where, and how they use math and how this makes life difficult or easy, depending on the occasion.
The alarm clock goes off at 5:50 a.m. Work begins at 7, and there is a 20-minute drive in. How much time do you have to get ready and out the door? Upon backing out of the drive, you become aware that the gas gauge is showing on empty, so a stop at the pump is necessary before proceeding to work. The car is filled with gas along with the add-on of a pack of crackers. You will need to know how much money is needed in order to cover the purchase. It's also important to know if the cashier has figured the total correctly. Upon arrival at work, thoughts run through your mind about how much money will be earned this month due to overtime, which is figured time and a half. You wonder if the extra work will increase your salary enough to place you in a different tax bracket. And so, will the government get all that you've earned extra, or will there be a significant difference in your take-home pay to warrant the extra work hours? Oh well, enough time thinking about money. There is a job to be done. At your workstation, you're expected to mix liquids together to make a solution for cleaning. In order to minimize waste and reduce cost, the proportions in the mixture must be exact. After the day's work, you decide to stop by the hardware store to pick up a few items needed to make some repairs on the house. Some of the repairs include painting the guest bedroom and replacing old door hinges with new ones. You will need to know how much covering is needed, that is, the area. How large is that area? What volume of paint is needed to complete the job? Oh yes, and don't forget about the screws for the new hinges. How long do they need to be? A day in the life has passed, and as you reflect on it, you realize that without a working knowledge of math, a person really is lost.
This scenario is very common to the students taught in adult basic skills. The adult students face situations throughout every day which require them to use a variety of math skills. This being the case, it is the job of the ABS instructor to provide appropriate lessons and a variety of practice for adults to know the skills they will need throughout their days. It is beneficial to us to understand the characteristics of these learners before we plan the strategies they need. The characteristics we consider most influential for instructional decision-making are the following. First, performance, the need to perceive change. 2, motivation, set goals and encouragement. Meaning, activate prior knowledge. 4, memory. Learning depends on intensity, frequency, and the importance of the information to the learner. 5, pacing. Set their own pace, their own rate of learning. 6, complexity. Keep learning interesting. 7, content. This will vary with the learner. 8, feedback. Make it relevant and positive. And 9, adjustment. Meet individual needs. First, performance, the need to perceive change. Adult learners expect a change. A difference in performance will reveal an integration of their knowledge, their skills, and attitudes. Second, adults are motivated by setting goals. However, motivation fluctuates according to the source and type of encouragement they receive and the barriers they encounter. Goals can be radically changed depending on circumstances. Adults should be allowed to make an active search for meaning, to discover relationships between prior experiences, prior competencies, and new learnings. They need to have control of their own goals. Third, meaning. Prior knowledge may facilitate, interfere with, or be unrelated to new learnings. ABS instructors utilize adults' vast resource of prior knowledge to teach assimilation of old and new information. Life experiences, of which adult learners have a vast resource, must be used, for they play an important part in the learning of adults. Consequently, they take a pragmatic approach to learning, and therefore they want to apply their old and their new information. Adults are less capable of learning isolated, unrelated facts. They need to integrate lessons, integrate learning. They learn best if they can connect their old information, their vast resources, with new information. Fourth, the strength of memory depends on intensity of learning, on the frequency of application, and the importance of that information to the learner. However, adult learners are usually in school because they want to be. Learning is very important to them. Fifth, pacing. Adults set their own learning pace, their own rate for learning. Sixth, the learning task must be complex enough to be interesting, and it must be stimulating to the learner. And the process should vary according to the content or the nature of that learning task. Seventh, content. Because our learners do come to us with such a vast resource of information, with so many life experiences, and a variety of needs, we must vary the content to meet those needs and incorporate those life experiences. Eighth, feedback. Feedback should be very specific regarding what the student has learned and what the student needs help in. This feedback should be immediate. The students need to be recognized, and yes, even adults need to be rewarded, because feedback, recognition, and reward help to shape and reinforce new learnings. Ninth, adults who believe in their ability to handle situations may be challenged, but those who don't may be threatened. Many adults, when young, perceived learning as a threat. They learned in school that factual recall defined intelligence. Testing and classroom failures perpetuated this erroneous concept. A few years ago, when today's adults were children, teaching did not include metacognition, the concept of using prior knowledge as a basis for learning new information. Nor were students asked to make application of new information to their everyday lives. Adjusting to this new type of learning demands a change in how one thinks about teaching and learning. Before proceeding, let us just review quickly these characteristics of adult learners which influence our instructional strategies. First, performance, the need to perceive change. 2, motivation, set goals and encouragement. Meaning, activate prior knowledge. 4, memory. Learning depends on intensity, frequency, and the importance of the information to the learner. 5, pacing. Set their own pace, their own rate of learning. 6, complexity. Keep learning interesting. 7, content. This will vary with the learner. 8, feedback. Make it relevant and positive. And 9, adjustment. Meet individual needs.